is up, everybody? Happy Saturday. A little bit earlier than usual, but that's because I've got some stuff going on later this afternoon, so I'm here like I said I would be, just a little earlier. So for those of you that are out and about early today, good morning. Or yeah, good morning. It's not the afternoon yet. Another day that I'm tired. I watched yesterday's live and it made me feel so stressed out. What's up, Pro Pyro? Good morning. Happy Saturday. Well, good evening to you. Hope you had a great Saturday. I am starting early today because I have to head out, and I wanted this to be, you know, at least almost an hour. So I'm here. I've got my coffee and I'm ready to go. So first thing, I'm just gonna add some calcium to my reservoir. What's up, Travis? Thank you for hanging out. And I wouldn't go that far. You watched yesterday's live. I'm far from having a green thumb. In fact, I've got quite the ways to go, but we're gonna get there eventually. Yeah, yesterday's live was like the whole thing was just, I short-circuited the entire time. I was trying to learn how to use my Pulse Pro. And for those of you that don't know what that is, I didn't even give a background or context on it yesterday. It's an environmental meter. If you're growing indoors, it's an incredible tool. And gotta check something. Oh my God, I almost let my eggplant seedlings dry up again. Anyways, what's up, everybody? How's everyone doing today? Yesterday was an interesting live. It was a little bit different than we usually do. We talked some technical stuff, and I don't know, you guys. It's gonna be a little bit of a learning curve for me, but we'll get there. And no worries, Travis, it really wasn't that fun. It was me trying to figure out PPFD, VPD, dew point, relative humidity, I don't know. Trying to learn all that stuff. Trying to figure out how to understand what all these parameters or these factors, environmental factors mean, so that I can optimize my garden. And so that was yesterday. I'm kind of just dipping my toes in the water to see if I'm a total idiot or if I can kind of figure it out. And well, teetering the line of both. I'm just kidding. Totally kidding. It's just a little bit of a learning curve. To be honest, I tend to make things bigger in my mind than they actually are. And because I get so intimidated, I actually turn it into this whole thing. And so I said multiple times on the live, you guys, it's not that big of a deal. It's just me, I'm making it a big deal. So I added in 20 liters of water this morning. So I'm gonna add in 20 mils of CalMag. And then in about a half an hour, we're gonna add in the bloom, or I can do it tonight. So how's everybody doing today? It's Saturday. It's a gorgeous day where I'm at. Hopefully you can say the same for yourselves. I got my coffee. I got my plants. It's the best day. How can you go wrong when you have coffee and plants? You can't. All right, I'm gonna mix that up. Sometimes I just dump it right in the reservoir. Sometimes I use a jar with some water just to make sure it's mixed properly, and then I mix it in the reservoir. Or sometimes I just let it circulate and let it do its thing. So I'm just gonna dump this in. And I'll let that mix itself. I told you guys, today's a lazy day. I'm tired today. A second day in a row that I am tired. That's okay. It's all good. So, little quick update, because we will be working on this today. So today's goal, last week, if you guys have been following along, we added a polyurethane sponge that was saturated in a little bit of distilled nutrients and a tiny bit of hydrogen peroxide, and we enclosed or encased a growth node within a root ball using the polyurethane sponge to keep it saturated or to keep it moistened to get roots. And some people in the chat voted that we also just cut the runner and try to propagate it in some water. So those two things happened on the same day. So we're gonna see the difference. Good morning, DC's Bees. DC's Bees says, I find when I'm overwhelmed with new information, I step back and begin work through it step by step. So I'm sure I understand what I'm putting into practice. Absolutely. And the thing is, sometimes I have to, I'm not the learner type, which is odd, right? Because I've learned all this in such a short amount of time. I'm really not a researcher type. I'm just like, let me try it and screw it up, and then I'll be sure to learn from that. So with this kind of information, I kind of put it out there because sometimes talking through it with people that actually have experience in the field using these parameters, you know, we can go back and forth, and sometimes through conversation or through discussion is an easier way for me to learn, because I guess the idea of going online and researching and trying to decipher what's accurate information, what pertains to my garden versus what is like, I don't know, there's tons of inaccurate stuff online. You don't know what you're reading. So I don't know. So anyways, yesterday I said, you know what, let me just put myself out there live. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about all the things I don't know. And it was helpful. It forced me to kind of get out of my comfort zone. And today we're going back into the comfort zone because that's where I like it. But, you know, I don't want to be stagnant. I always, like I said, the learning never stops. And so I got to act like it, and I got to keep learning. And so that's where I'm at right now. There's a little bit of a learning curve, and I'm just feeling not overwhelmed, but it is, I finally found this confidence where my plants are doing great, and I could talk about my garden, and I could talk about all these things with confidence. And then, you know, it's a little bit of an adjustment when you've got something new to learn where you don't know what you're talking about and you don't know what you're doing. So, oh God, I'm having another issue with my lines again. I have to check that later. Shoot. I can always hear when my lines aren't working right. Now I'm so familiar, I spend so much time in here, I can hear when there's an issue. It's better to make mistakes in your head beforehand than doing it in our application. Absolutely. And so I didn't really background knowledge or anything, or background knowledge, wow. I didn't do background research or anything before I hopped on the live and started talking about it yesterday. So it was a little bit, not nerve-wracking, but there's so many experienced growers in this community that I'm not embarrassed, but, you know, I felt a little like, all right, this is new territory, so forgive me if I say something wrong type of deal. We always want to keep growing in your knowledge and wisdom. Absolutely. I'm somebody where if there's too much stagnation going on in my life, then I need a change. Like I need to be always leveling or learning something new or doing something to better my practices. So as I'm talking to you guys, I'm actually just going to assess what's going on here because we got a problem, you guys. Oh, my lines are not working. This is no bueno. Oh boy. Alright, I'm going to have to deal with this because otherwise things aren't going to get water, and that is not good. Sorry guys, I'm just waiting for the pump to turn back on so I can see what is going on. Yeah, I don't know what is happening. It ain't good. I don't know, you guys. I'll have to deal with that in a minute. But this is with aero or hydroponics is sometimes you you just have issues with your lines, and there's nothing you can do about it. You have to fix it, and so it just is what it is. It's an issue that constantly arises with these methods of growing. But anyways, so today we are going to transplant our strawberry. We propagated a runner, and we put it in water on the same day that we did our root ball, just to see which one will get roots faster and if this method will work. And we do indeed have roots. If you guys saw yesterday, we had only one, and it was like really short, so overnight it kind of grew some roots. So we're going to continue the A and B testing, and we're actually going to also put that one in the buckets that it's got roots. Got hair in my eye. We're also going to put that in the buckets now that it's got roots. So we're going to kind of test out which method will be the most effective. I already know which method's going to be most effective, but we will see. So black dinner dress, it's actually not, it's cotton, it's super comfortable. It's like, it does seem to be a clean way of gardening. I always try to look stylish on these lives. I'm just kidding. No, you know what? In life, I always put my best foot forward, always. And if you want people to take you seriously and enjoy watching you and whatever, you got to be presentable, whatever that means. You just can't look like a slob. Or you can, and sometimes that's people's thing too, right? Be comfy, be in your element. But you know, I'm that type of person. When I used to do this stuff, I was working full-time in the corporate world, and so in the morning I'd get ready for work, and I'd be wearing, you know, like a business casual outfit, and then I'd shoot my right before work, and then when I got to work, I'd edit it and post it. And so people were like, why are you so dressed up? Why do you have all these different outfits? And it's like, well, because I go to work and I dress up for work. But now I just do it because why the heck not? Somebody's got to look good for plants. I'm just kidding. But yeah, guys, so I'm going to take you on a quick tent tour, show you what's going on. I do have some stuff to do a little, so this is not going to be a super long live, and it might be even cut shorter just because I see what the heck is going on with these lines. Unless I take 5 minutes and I do it right now, and then we get started in 5 minutes. You know what? It's bothering me. So thank you guys for watching. Hang tight. Be right back. This works. almost done. So, when there's, sorry to those of you guys that just joined, I'm just trying to fix my lines quickly before I start. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Welcome from Maine, very cool. So it's not a leak, it's, I have a lot of buildup in my lines just from using clay and the fertilizer that I use. And so because I have buildup, sometimes it causes clogging in the lines. And if the lines get clogged, then there's an issue with the pressure. And so some of the misting nozzles don't work right. And so the idea is I take the misting head and I just let the water go to kind of force out whatever's stuck in there, and then I put the nozzle back on, and usually it works, but that's a quick band-aid fix. Normally you should take apart your lines, clean them, and start again. So I mean, eventually when I have more time I'll do that, but not today. All right, I just have a few more to check, and then we're gonna get started. Yeah, I think this is something I'm gonna have to start doing every few days. So when my bucket system is rattling like crazy like that, it's actually a pressure issue because I've got something clogged in the lines, which is such a pain. This is the way it is. These are okay. Right. I think we're good. I think we're good. Happy Saturday, everybody. What's up, clone? What's up, like you son, I don't know, whatever. What's up, everybody? Sometimes, like, sometimes I misread the handle and then I sound like a total idiot. So I'm gonna let the bucket system just kind of circulate, force out what's stuck in there, and check the lines again before I go out. The reason why I wanted to action that quickly was because I'm gonna be gone all afternoon and I want to make sure that everything's getting watered properly, because if we're going to be transferring our propagated strawberry, we have to make sure it's getting watered properly. Otherwise, all that work for nothing. Yeah, why are you yelling at me? I'm just kidding. All right, cool. I will call you Lick. All right, guys. So, further further ado, we're going to do the TED tour. I'm going to take you around, show you everything that's growing, show what's growing on, and then we are going to take our propagated strawberries. So for those of you that just joined, we've got one that we did both on the same day. We have this one that we propagated and just put in water. Normally you want to root the runner before separating it from the original plant, but the chat voted that we try it, so we did, and we did get roots, so it is possible. I did have someone actually reach out to me on Instagram for strawberry help, and they tried to transplant the runners before rooting them, and I told them that it might not root, they might have challenges. So I will be sending them a picture of this later and saying, hey, it worked, so just give your plants more time. MF Clone, it is coffee. So these are actually cappuccino cups, and they're, to be honest, not the greatest for coffee because they're so warm. It gets so cold so fast, but whatever. I drink it pretty fast anyways. Costco. All right, let's do this, shall we? Get going soon, so we gotta hustle. All right, guys. Seedlings still alive, or seeds germinating, still sprouting. So these are eggplant, 3 different varieties. We are patiently waiting so that we can move them into our second bucket stem. I've been harvesting from this tower every day. It is so messy, but that's okay because we still got some good stuff growing. I'm going to be eating it all within the next few days. And next week, you guys, we're going to be cleaning the orange tower, reassembling it together, and getting some new seeds started to get that going. So that's the orange tower. Green tower, got to clean up some algae, but this parsley is taken off. I've just been harvesting every single day. It is so good. I've got 2 varieties. One is a curly leaf parsley and one is a forest green parsley. Both freaking delicious. Got some sage here, which I think I keep saying this, but I actually need to. I think I'll plant it outside. And this is flowering, and it's not even on bloom fertilizer, which is crazy. So we're going to get that into the buckets as well. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. And green tower, it's popping. It's pretty. Look at all that beautiful lettuce. Doesn't that look incredible? So by the time we tear down the orange tower, we're going to be starting to consume this one. So the timing, it's on point, you guys. We got some good time. Thank you so much, Lick. Appreciate you. Tomatoes. I don't know how this happened. Like, we just pruned them below the light, and yeah, they're growing like crazy. So we talked about it yesterday. FD. I'm going to have to figure out how I manage this moving forward. How do I keep my plants at a certain height so that I can keep the light at a certain height so that everything is where it should be? So that's something we're going to be getting into more as time goes on and as I feel like learning it. So here's all our tomatoes, waiting for them to ripen. But yeah, we got quite a bit. It's just, again, waiting for it all to ripen. So maybe that plays into our PPFD. It was very, very low yesterday. And so working on increasing it. Today I increased the lights, and that combined with the watering not working properly, my plants probably aren't very happy right now. The cucumber is insane. I just showed you guys yesterday. It's already grown so much. Lick says, just bend the stem, it will rise against the light. I would, so that's what I've been doing with some of this stuff, right? Like, I've been bending stems and clipping it sideways so that it can kind of go outward. However, with cucumbers, they climb up, but then I'm trying to weave it back down, but then I'm running out of space, so it's also spatial issue. I can make my tomatoes go really bushy, but I don't have a lot of room to work with. And because I try to keep everything super clean and not spray my plants, because it is food and I'm trying to get away from, you know, chemicals, pesticides, all that kind of stuff, that I need to be very careful about things like PM. And when you don't have proper air circulation, PM is a very likely thing that you could get. And so yeah, I don't want my plants to get too bushy because then I can have issues. So it's a little bit of a juggling act. I'm trying to figure it all out, and eventually I'll get there. you know, I am new, I am still learning, so I do have to give myself credit. Like, it is pretty cool that I'm managing to grow all of these things in a small, or not in a small space, but they all have their own needs, and I'm able to grow everything, everything in one environment, which is, I don't know, it's kind of remarkable. So that's where we're at with those, and I'll take it back in buckets. Or actually, we're still not done the first. So we have our zinnia flowers, another one blooming. I think these are all the same variety. I don't know how. I didn't label, I just randomly planted, and I ended up planting all the same variety, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. Because variety is the life, you guys. So we've got our dahlia plants here. The roots are definitely forming into tubers. They're getting quite large. Look at our dahlia cutting. Nice, thick, chunky roots. Our strawberry. Okay, I'm going to have to go back around the other side and show you. Thank you so much, Lick. These are actually them. I pick them every couple weeks. I've got new ones to pick. So these are the ones that we've picked. They're cute. What's up, Mia Lifestyle? Happy Saturday. Thank you so much for hanging out. So this is my most exciting update for today, you guys. I checked this out this morning, and I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that we have a correctly pollinated strawberry. So a round of applause for the Fresh Princess, because she freaking did it. I'm just kidding. But there it is, you guys. First TFP aeroponic strawberry. Pretty exciting. There she is. So I hand pollinated her correctly. Today, the second floor kind of closed up. I got one little pollination in there in the last minute, and now it's starting to close. But this is what we're going to be working on today. Thank you so much, Mr. and Mrs. And welcome, Armando. So this is a root ball. This is how I chose to try to propagate the runner. We're going to pop that open and see if we got roots. But this is our strawberry plant. She's doing exceptionally well. We've got a little flower cluster here that has really started to take off. And thank you so much, Mia Lifestyle. And once we saw that the first root ball worked, we've got a second one underway. So MF Clone says, what type of pepper are we eating today? We should eat one every stream and work our way up to Pepper X. You're nuts, man. But you know what? I should do that. That would be an awesome series. What should we call it? Call it Spicy Saturdays, where every Saturday I have pepper. And then I can wash it down with some refreshing Sugar Baby watermelon. There's my Sugar Baby. She's so pretty. I've got another little baby. It's slowly growing, but it's taking its sweet ass time. That one, it's like dead. The stem that it's connected to just freaking dried up. I'm gonna pick that off. You see? No bueno. R.I.P. Yeah, nice one, MF Clone. You guys, do you dare me to eat this little baby water? Oh, never mind. Just fell on the floor. Even though it's clean in here, it's not that clean. So, all right, MF. Well, lucky for you, one of the Chinese 5-color peppers is ripening. So check that out, you guys. How cool is that? So we got her peppers, and then one that's starting to turn into, yesterday it was yellow. Today it's really getting orange. So that's fun to get to see every single day. We've got our other Chinese 5-color pepper plant. And we've got our jalapenos. More jalapenos. Looking good. And we've got our bell peppers. So I think it's going to be orange. Well, I know it's going to be orange. I can see it's orange. And Pro Pyros, call the garden police. This one is starting to ripen. I don't know. It might be red. We'll see. That's exciting, though. They're all going to start to ripen. This one, not yet. So we're going to find out what color they will be. And here we've got our yellow one. I know, the pepper plants exploded. I did prune some of them yesterday. And so, yeah. And then we've got our poblano peppers here. They look so great. So, yeah, and then that's the second Chinese 5-color pepper plant. It's like a freaking tree, man. It's huge. So that is very, very exciting. All right, guys, the moment is here. We're gonna transfer our propagated strawberry. So we're gonna open the root ball. We're gonna look at the roots. We are going to separate the rooted the rooted runner from the original plant, and then we'll get the new cutting into a foam collar and into the bucket system. It will go. It'll get the same nutrients that the mother plant is getting, and that's it. We're off to the races. Tomorrow, I should probably show you an outdoor garden update. It's insane out there, you guys. Okay, so we're gonna head over to our strawberry plant. Oh, I forgot to, man, I always do this. Forgot to show you guys a second bucket system. All right, so again, we are way ahead of the game with these. We're already flowering, which is wild. I don't know how it's flowering so quickly, but I'm not gonna complain. We are going to pollinate when ready. So I've got 3 varieties. So I've got 1 row here and 1 row here. These guys are starting to climb up on the trellis. And so those are the cucumbers. They're getting really big, you guys, like really big, really fast. Today's 2 weeks that they've been in their new home. We are tomatillo plants, which again, quite large. You guys are gonna see how invasive these are. The biggest pain. We've got our honeydew, we've got our cantaloupe, and we've got our other bell peppers. Really just took off in the last day or so. Even compared to yesterday, they're so much bigger. It's crazy. And then our tomato cuttings are looking pathetic AF. But you guys remember the root we had yesterday? We only had 1. Check that out today. So it is going to bounce back. I am confident. Just this is where the patience comes in, right? So you guys remember yesterday, I couldn't even zoom in to show you the roots. So we do have roots. It will be okay. It just needs time. So that's what we got growing on there. And now we are going to quickly transfer this strawberry before I gotta say sayonara. But tomorrow, I'm here to hang. Tomorrow's gonna be fun. All right, guys, so, oh my gosh, this has gotten so long. Wow, I did not expect that. Can you guys see that? Like, these have gotten so long, they're already stretching over to the next plant. Oh my goodness. Wow, that crazy strawberry plant. All right, so I'm just kind of making room here. This is insane. Look at, that's a big strawberry plant. All right, so we are gonna open up this root ball. Now I haven't moistened it in a little while, so hopefully it'll be fine. I'm gonna just take here. Why isn't this? Hang on one sec, guys. All right, there we go. Wasn't getting pressure in the line. All right, so I'm just grabbing an empty net pot with a foam collar here. So I've got a foam collar. We're gonna be transferring our strawberry. And I thank you so much, Mr. and Mrs. That is so nice of you. I love this community. You guys are the best. I have so much fun on these lives. All right, so this is a plastic root ball. It's designed to root things. It does a great job. So this is still, wow, it stayed completely saturated, which is awesome. And now we have some really nice root that we're working with. So this is going to make the transplant process much smoother for our cloned plant. Now, it has rooted into the sponge. So might be a little challenging. Oh my gosh, the roots growing through the sponge, you guys. I might have to cut some of these roots just to get them out. I'm gonna gently pull them out. As long as we have like 1 or 2, we should be good. Luckily, they are thicker roots. They're not, a lot of the other seedlings I work with, it's like little hairs. Oh, there we go, we broke it. That's okay. These are a little bit more coarse, making it a little bit easier to actually pull out of the sponge. As you can see, I'm pulling it out of the sponge. Great job. Thank you, Mia Lifestyle. Surgeon Natalie available if you need surgery. All right, so right now, here is our rooted strawberry runner. So for those of you that don't know, strawberries have runners, which is stems that grow that actually have a growth node on them. So right here is an example of a runner. So see how there's a growth node here? So this is gonna start, gosh, we got another flower. This is gonna start to grow out, and it's going to have pretty much another growth node, and then you can root it, and it's like you can multiply. Strawberries are one of the easiest things to multiply. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some scissors. I'm gonna get some scissors. We're gonna clip, guys. You ready, kiddo? We're separating you from your mama. Oh my gosh, and we have a flower growing on the new one. Oh my gosh, this is wonderful. We are going to have so many freaking strawberries. Abundance, here we come. All right, so, all right, we're gonna separate you from your mama now. I'm gonna cut it here so you guys can see. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Done. Oh my gosh, it's like cutting off a limb. All right, strawberry plant, we'll get you back to how you were. Just kind of moved all these leaves here, so I'm just trying to place them back how they were. I mean, you could just leave it and they'll go back naturally, but whatever. All right, it's kind of messy, but it is what it is. So I need to kind of turn this to make room for the other plant. So I actually have to do a little bit of Tetris here, but before I do any moving around, this is our multiplied plant. So this, we're gonna actually compare it really quick to the other that we propagated in just water the same day. So I'm just switching, I'm moving the dahlia cutting to the other side so that it's not gonna overshadow, this big plant here won't overshadow the strawberry. So I've moved it over, and now I've got a vacant spot for my baby. I'm actually going to, what's up, Thomas? Happy Saturday. All right, so I moved my dahlia plants to make room because the strawberry is going to go in there. But as you can see, this is just one strawberry plant. It goes freaking nuts. So we used a root ball, for those of you that just joined, with a saturated polyurethane sponge. We encased the growth node of the runner in it, and we successfully created another strawberry plant. So the next step is to, we also propagated by cutting a runner before we rooted the growth node and just sticking the growth node in water. We did it on the same day, and I'm going to show you guys the difference. Hang on. So these two plants were propagated on the same day using two different methods. And as you can see, the one on the right is much more effective. The one on the right was still attached to the original plant while we were working on rooting it, whereas this one, we actually cut off the runner, then propagated it. The plant takes less stress and damage when you actually leave it connected to its mother and while it roots. You'd want to, oh my gosh, we even got roots growing on another growth node here. crazy. We're actually going to let that multiply and then we can separate it. So I'm going to put it in the foam collar at right around this here so that these will go in the bottom of the net pot. But how interesting is that? So we're actually going to put both of them in the bucket system. Since we propagated them on the same day, we're going to put them in the buckets the same day. And it's going to be sink or swim. We're going to see which one, if any, will do better. Did I ever eat or grow loganberries? You know what's so funny, MF Clone, is I have my cousins. I used to go to their place growing up, and their parents would always serve us loganberry juice. And I'm like, what the fuck is loganberry juice? And I never used to drink it because it tastes like freaking water. Anyways, I never knew what it was. And recently I actually thought about it. I was like, what the heck are loganberries? So that's funny that you bring that up because I haven't heard that in years. And I was just thinking about it. I have not tried the berries. I've just tried the juice, and it was kind of like a pathetic blueberry juice. No. All right, so we've got our plant here. Mr. and Mrs. Okay, first of all, there's no silly questions. Here, we're all here to learn, grow, no judgment, ever, ever, ever. Do you start your strawberries from seeds? Can you take runners from wild strawberries? So absolutely, I start my strawberries from seed. My first grow, I took strawberries from outside and I propagated the runners. I put them in my tower, and I actually had a thrip infestation in my grow tent. And so I wouldn't recommend it if you're growing indoors, but if you're growing outdoor, have at it. You can clone all you want, replant all you want. You can have a lot of fun with that. Junkyard Grows 420 wants to know, what is my favorite plant that I grow? Well, right now I'm really having a good time. I'm enjoying the experience of growing strawberries. It's my first time, but other than that, just for the aesthetic purposes, I'm really loving this Chinese 5-color pepper plant. It's so beautiful. There's so many, I don't know, it's so hard to say. Honestly, I've got probably at least 50 different varieties in here, like minimum. So it's so hard to choose, but right now it's all about the new stuff that I've never grown. So strawberries and watermelon is like very, very exciting for me. So I've got my watermelon right here, and we have our first aeroponic strawberries. Oh my gosh, even this one, maybe we did it correctly. So exciting. And our runner has a flower growing, which is wild. So here, propagated plants, hopefully they will survive. Only the strong survive, you guys, but we will see how they do tomorrow. But yeah, and you pop the hood and you see the roots there. So actually we should, thank you so much, James, appreciate you. I'm just gonna get my tripod because we're gonna just check if the second one has rooted, because why not speed process and get everything going so that we can multiply and multiply. I'm gonna get so greedy with these strawberries, you guys. It's going to be a propagation station. We're just gonna be propagating like crazy. All right, so we do have roots, just not long enough, I don't think. I'm gonna wait. You know what, we're gonna tomorrow. Let's let the roots get a little bit longer. I mean, they are kind of long enough. They're growing through the sponge, but I don't want to rush it, and I will have to get going soon. So I also have to do some cleanup on this plant. We've got some yellowing leaves here. So we're actually going to leave this in the root ball. And that will be what we can also add to tomorrow's to-do. Fuck, I totally messed this up now. What have you done? All right. propagation station. Exactly. It's just gonna be a baby making factory in here for the bees, you guys. But yeah, that's the goal, and then hopefully we'll have enough plants that we will be able to fill up the yellow tower on our next grow. So yeah, guys, we got that done quickly. So I went from having one thriving strawberry plant that's flowering and actually starting to produce to now I have 3. So we multiplied it, we did it. That's what we do in this grow tent. We're addicted to plants. Addicted, honestly, I can't stop. You know, people like to, when I said today that I'm back in my comfort zone, if you told me that this was going to be my comfort zone a couple years ago, oh my gosh, I would have never thought. I did not care about plants at all, like not even a house plant. I liked flowers, but you know, didn't care to take care of them. What's up, Ray Cassis? Happy Saturday. And so yeah, I love my life as long as plants are in it, and I have a garden, and something I never thought I'd say. So I hope you guys share in the same enjoyment. I know a lot of you guys are also growers, so that's really cool. I appreciate you guys hanging and joining. Hello from UK in the rain. What's up, Toby's Garden? Today it's really hot here. It's been quite hot in Toronto, Ontario. We haven't gotten a lot of rain, and so it's been challenging for my outdoor garden, but we've been managing, but my flowers are struggling a little bit. Steve says, save a bigger space than me, but I'm doing the same as you. That's an awesome grow. Good job. Thank you so much, Steve, and happy growing to you. Great job to you too. You know, all the more power to people that whether you do it as a hobby, whether you do it to grow your own medicine, your own food, whatever it is, honestly, there's no better feeling. And I'm proud even of strangers, even of people that I don't know that have a garden, just because I know the connection for me and the way it fulfills my soul. And I'm sure it's the same. I'm sure it's the same with you guys. I know I'm getting distracted because of Pro Pyros. Pro Pyro, you're so funny. If it isn't green, you're not living the dream. You know I'm going to be using that. I'm going to create, I have something called a Cricut. It's, you know, a arts and crafts thing, and I can make decals for my car, a bumper sticker. If it ain't green, you're not living the dream. Or, no, you know what? If it ain't green, F off. Normally I actually swear pretty bad, you guys. I just try not to swear on these lives. And you know what's funny is because I try so hard not to swear, now I'm saying frickin' all the time. And so I'm actually, these lives are holding me accountable to condition myself to not swear. So I usually have such a potty mouth, but I try to keep it clean. Just as, you know, I don't want to be sounding like a trucker when really that's my true inner self. Mia Lifestyle says your happiness so awesome for you. Thank you so much. I know I love my garden. I know. Okay, it crawls back in. I know. Frickin'. Yeah. Honestly, I hate the word frickin' too. It sounds so stupid. Yesterday I was pretty nervous on the live just because I was talking about things that I'm really not familiar with, and I felt quite uncomfortable. It was, you know, you don't grow unless you're uncomfortable, but I felt a little bit uncomfortable, and especially when I'm uncomfortable, dropping F-bombs all over the place. And so I rewatched yesterday's live, and every other word was frickin'. Swear in real life, just YouTube. Absolutely. But now I'm starting to say frickin' in real life, which is great because, you know, I do have people around me or friends and stuff that have kids, and they, you know, they aren't happy when the trucker Natalie comes out. Trucker TFP. Have you got some Sun Gold cherry tomatoes? I've just got regular cherry tomatoes. They could be called Sun Gold because they're beautiful orange, but I've got there's red. There's a little baby red one growing there, and then there's like a brownish color. I just got them from the grocery store. They were so good, and so I harvested the seeds and I germinated them, and there we go. I've got 9 plants and counting because we're propagating. I've got some cuttings here. So again, we're doing some A and B testing. I took cuttings on the same day, and some are in the grow tower to propagate and some are just in some water, and we're gonna see which ones root faster. So I like to experiment. Pro Pyro says, luckily mom napped off. Oh, thank goodness. Otherwise you'd have to cover her ears. Steve says, I do half hydro veggies and half soil flowers. I really do a lot of crazy stuff. Also, like exotic cucumbers. They're round and yet, hey, are they called lemon cucumbers? Because I'm growing yellow round cucumbers right here. These are gonna be lemon cucumbers. They look like a lemon, taste like a cucumber. So maybe we are twins, Steve. Thank you for sharing. And if any of you guys ever want to hop on a live, me show off your garden or just talk about whatever, feel free. I can always send you guys a link. I'm here to share the stage and just bring more information to the community. So yeah, Mia Lifestyle, the frickin' princess, LOL. Thank you so much, Toby's Garden. And yes, kuka melons, I've seen those, but these are actually called lemon cucumbers. So Steve, very exciting to know that you're growing the same thing. Feel to keep us updated in the chat throughout your grow, and maybe we can compare. So very, very cool. On that note, you guys, I do have to head out, but it's been such a fun time. I really appreciate you guys. Any idea what time you might be back tomorrow? We're so excited to see the outdoor garden. All right, well, let me tell you that the outdoor garden is much less, it's very underwhelming compared to this garden. But I do have some beautiful flowers growing, and I think my dahlias will be open by tomorrow. 12 p.m. Eastern time. I don't have anything going on tomorrow. So tomorrow is going to be like, I'm going to take my sweet ass time on this live, and we're going to do a bunch of stuff in the tent, and then we'll take it outside and check out the garden. Sorry, Lick says, before you put people up on panel, make sure they show you their face. A lot of people, P-bomb, sadly, just a heads up. Yes, I'm sure they do. Good day, everyone. Oh my gosh, yeah, we don't want that happening. We're talking about plants and nothing else. Thank you so much, Pro Pyro. I grow my plants and they make me want to eat the plants you grow. Have a day. Yes, I know. It's very hard to not, walk by something in the tent and just pick it off and eat it. I do that all the time. So you guys are incredible. I love this community. Thank you so much for hanging out. Tomorrow's going to be so much fun. It will not be rushed, and we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. So you're not going to want to miss it. Please come hang out with me, 12 p.m. Eastern time. And if you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Ray Cassis, we're talking about plants and only plants. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Toby's Garden. I appreciate you. How big of a tent do I have? It's 200 square feet. It is a 20 by 10 grow tent. So yeah, please don't forget to subscribe. If you're into all things aeroponics, indoor gardening, or just good vibes, apps, and maybe a little only plants. If you know, you know. And if you don't, come back tomorrow and I'll explain it to you. We will see you tomorrow, guys. Happy Saturday. Have a wonderful, sunshiny day. And thanks again. Bye, guys.